Hi everybody, Claudia here with Healthy Preparedness. In one of my other videos titled Serious Illnesses, Are We Helpless?, I'd mentioned the Ebola virus and I said I'd create a video about it. Well, this is the video about it. So the Ebola virus is a virus, obviously, that causes hemorrhagic fevers, and about 70 to 90% of the people who get this illness die. But it's interesting to note what people are doing, what the health professionals are doing for the people who have Ebola out in Africa. The main thing that they're doing is just keeping them comfortable. So they're keeping them hydrated and they're keeping their electrolyte levels up. Both of those things are absolutely critical to their recovery, to any person's recovery. In fact, my daughter had a little episode where her electrolyte levels became really low and she had the flu, and we had no clue what was going on because she didn't have diarrhea anymore, she wasn't throwing up anymore. But she was so miserable. It became really a scary situation. Even though we had taken her to the doctor earlier that day, he just told us, yeah, she looks somewhat dehydrated. Take her, she'll be fine. Take her home. We could do some tests. You know, although I could tell he didn't really find that to be something. He didn't find that necessary. But that night she ended up just becoming hysterical, and it was really, really unlike her. So we went straight to our primary children's hospital, and after some blood work, they found that her electrolyte levels were so low that they said when they see children coming to the hospital and they're that low, they look like they're on their deathbed. They really were incredibly low, and that's why she wasn't able to recover. So keeping a person hydrated and keeping their electrolyte levels up is super, super important. But the doctors, the health professionals, there's one documentary that I was watching, and there's a couple articles that I was reading, and they were saying that the main thing that we're doing is keeping the people comfortable, hydrated electrolyte levels, and allowing their immune system to take over and knock out this virus from their body. So when you hear that, do you feel like that is all we can do? Is that truly all we can do? Considering that it's a virus, considering that we're waiting for our immune system to kick in, is there not other things that we can do for that? Now, I find it interesting that the few people that have been brought here to the United States, they've all recovered. I do feel like there are other remedies or prescription medications and such that the doctors can give that will help us overcome the Ebola virus, but I don't think they have the financial means to give that to every person out there in Africa. So right now all they're doing is just kind of the maintenance as to what they can do for all these poor people who are suffering with this terrible illness. The Ebola virus creates symptoms. The symptoms that it creates is fevers, body pain, diarrhea, vomiting, and bleeding. So, and eventually, as the illness progresses, your organs just end up shutting down and you die. So taking all of that into account, I just think, okay, what can we do? What can we do to treat the Ebola virus, especially in a situation where doctors aren't available, prescription medications aren't available, say a disaster happened and so it's wiped out those two options, and we're just kind of on our own, needing to treat this illness on our own. What do we do? What can we do? So, of course, the first thing is keeping the person hydrated and keeping electrolyte levels up. We can do that. I have a dehydration protocol in my book, Beyond Weight and Weeds, that you can follow. It says if a person is seriously ill, or if they're needing to be hydrated and they're not able to take in enough orally because they have too much going out through vomiting and diarrhea, then what you can do is give an enema. And you can give an electrolyte enema, and you can do this multiple times throughout the day, and just help them to retain that for 20 minutes at a time. And that will help keep their body hydrated. The next thing that you can do is give them remedies. So what are the antiviral remedies? In my book, out of all the 40 remedies that I have, I've listed them as to whether they're antibacterial, antiviral, antiparasitic, or antifungal. So you can look at the antiviral list and see, okay, here are the remedies that are antiviral. These are the ones that I can choose from. The remedies that I feel like would be best for something like the Ebola virus, interestingly enough, minerals is one of them. Fulvic acid is a mineral supplement that you can purchase, and I feel like that one's really critical to helping a person be able to overcome a viral illness. My favorite brand is Sun Warrior brand. It's called Liquid Light. It's just, I can buy it from my health food store, and it's just one that I really like. They're a really good, reputable company. And if they're vomiting more than they have diarrhea, then give it to them rectally. If they are hopefully not vomiting too often, you can give it to them orally. So then we can give them antiviral remedies. Some of these would be ASEA. ASEA is such an amazing remedy. I try to tell everybody, if you can, at least get one box of this ASEA, which one box has 4 bottles of the ASEA in there, so that you can treat really crazy illnesses that may come your way during a disaster. And just give it to whoever has this severe illness generously. A maintenance dose is 2 ounces twice a day for an adult. You decrease that by half for a child that's under 12. But when you're fighting off a serious illness, you want to give that generously, up to 8 ounces per dose, however often you feel like you need to or want to. It's completely non-toxic, and it is incredibly helpful to the body in overcoming any kind of disease or illness. ASAP silver would be another really good one. That's an antiviral one. Elderberry is a fabulous antiviral remedy. You can either get it in a tincture form from the health food store or online, or in a syrup form, although I try to stay away from the syrup form because a lot of times they have a lot of sugar in them. So sugar will just feed the viral or bacterial problem. So, or you can even just make a tea with it. I would make a really strong tea. So there are 2 different ways you can make the tea. You can use one teaspoon, even up to a tablespoon of elderberries per cup of water. So you can either simmer those berries in the water for 20 minutes with a lid on it, and then of course let it cool down, strain it, and drink that throughout the day. Drinking up to 4 to 6 cups of that. You can drink a lot of that. It's a safe herb to take, and it's really helpful and beneficial. And or you can just steep it like you would with the tea. So you get the water boiling, turn off the heating unit, and place the berries in there, cover it with the lid, and just let it sit. I would let it sit for at least 20 to 30 minutes to create a stronger tea that way. Interestingly enough, Dr. McBride, in her book, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, she says that people who take elderberry, if they take it on a daily basis, especially during the wintertime, that they more than likely will not get the flu. I mean, she kind of guarantees it. She really believes in the elderberry plant, but she says they will not get the cold or flu throughout the whole season. So she really feels strongly about that. But one way that she recommends taking it is by soaking the elderberries overnight and then juicing them in the morning. So you could even juice them if you wanted to. So there's lots of different ways to take the elderberry. And then we can take remedies that help boost the immune system. So what are those? 2 of the remedies that I recommend in my book are colostrum. It's a colostrum supplement or astragalus supplement. And now, interestingly enough, if you think about it, if a person is so sick that they can't take it internally or rectally, even because they're throwing up and have diarrhea so badly, you can apply these medicines to their body through a liquid called DMSO. That's a supplement that you can mix these other supplements into, apply it to the skin, and you get direct and immediate absorption of these remedies. So that might help out too, just knowing that. I talk about all these things in my book. But I think that's it. I think once we just step back and look at the whole Ebola virus picture and realize that the health professionals out there are doing the best that they can in just providing a good environment for the body to be able to use its own immune system to kick out the virus. And when we realize that that's all they're doing, even though that's a lot, but even though that's all they're doing, there's more that we can do for ourselves were it to hit here. Of course, if you think you have the Ebola virus, go see a doctor. Geez, don't stay at home. But I'm always taking into account or taking into consideration that perhaps a disaster has happened and we don't have any medical professional help available. So what can we turn to? So I think that's basically it. I hope some of this has been helpful to you. I'll have some other links below this video as to some articles and videos that I have watched and researched with the Ebola virus, and also the links to the remedies and the list of remedies that I've said here. And also you can go to the Beyond Wheat and Weeds website where you can view the PDF sample of the book. You can see the whole contents of the book there, and be able to, I have the whole list of remedies on there, so you can look through all the list of remedies and hopefully start chipping away at including those into your home storage. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, and I will be making more videos soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.